Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I'm Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. Today, we'll be discussing what will be the better VR gaming experience, the PlayStation VR 2 or the Quest Pro. Now obviously this topic is a bit divisive and not exactly a fair fight. I'm expecting people will fall into two distinct camps, but today I'll make the case for both devices and round out with my personal opinion. I would however like to start by hearing what you think down in the comments right now. Which platform will give the better gaming experience and why? Now there are of course the links and timestamps to all of today's topics, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by Kiwi Design, my favorite site for VR accessories. They're currently celebrating their 4-year anniversary, and you can get 20% off amazing items like their Quest 2 Elite strap, custom controller grips, link cables, and much more. They even have snap-on upgradable headphones that you can pre-order, and I'm actually giving away a Kiwi Elite strap with built-in battery pack. There's a link to the Kiwi site and my giveaway down in the description. And don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 5% off and to help support this channel. Okay, so let's start the video off with the elephant in the room, the fact that this is not a fair fight. The PlayStation VR 2 is designed specifically for gaming, while the Quest Pro is not. Before elaborating, I do want to mention that I'm using Quest Pro to refer to Meta's Project Cambria. It has not officially been given that name yet, but many of us are operating under the assumption that Quest Pro and Project Cambria are the same item. Jumping back to the Quest 2 not being designed for gaming doesn't mean it's not capable of gaming, and it will most likely have an experience better than the Quest 2, but the Quest Pro is designed for prosumers and enterprise to test new features like augmented reality and face and eye tracking. So Meta has repeatedly stated that the Quest Pro is intended to take VR headsets beyond just gaming. Sony, on the other hand, is all in for just gaming. They've mentioned multiple times that they want to elevate VR titles from the mere tech demos they used to be and bring them much closer in line with what we see on flat screen games. It's also been reported that they're spending heavily for VR development and encouraging studios to incorporate VR modes into their games. So clearly, the PlayStation VR has an advantage in this fight simply because it's doing what it was designed for. But from here, we'll break into separate categories to see the pros and cons of each device. So first up is games. When it comes to higher end, graphically superior, and more full-fledged titles, Sony is clearly going to take the lead. The PlayStation VR 2 is our only immediate shot for AAA VR gaming, and there are at least two big titles coming for launch, including Resident Evil Village and Horizon Call of the Mountain. Sony has over 20 release date titles planned, so there should be something for everyone. And on top of that, you'll still have a PlayStation 5 with access to those amazing single-player titles that you can even experience in VR in a theater mode. Now, when it comes to the overall game catalog side, it's rumored that the PlayStation VR 2 will be fully compatible with PlayStation VR games, and if that's true, it's huge, but if not, it's up against hundreds of titles in the Quest 2 catalog. Now, the entire Quest 2 catalog has not been officially verified to run on the Quest Pro, but we should assume that all of these games will work without issue. Now, when it comes to choosing a platform, games are usually the biggest selling point. That's why some people prefer PlayStation over Xbox, but for VR gaming, there is one other major factor, and that is the tether. The Quest Pro is a fully wireless, portable device, unlike the PlayStation VR 2, which requires a 14-foot cable. The Quest Pro also has all the benefits of the Quest 2, like wireless PC VR game streaming. So for some, the tether is just non-negotiable. They will never play VR if they have to deal with a cable. For me personally, game quality trumps wireless any day of the week. I find low fidelity games much more immersion breaking than the occasional sensation of a cable tug. I rarely get tangled up in my cable, but I will admit that comes with years of experience. If you started VR gaming wirelessly, it might be really hard to go back to a cable. So this is definitely one major point for the Quest Pro. Okay, so let's move into the features of these headsets and figure out what exactly separates them. Now, it will be hard to evaluate this because we don't know the value of these features until they've been in use for quite some time. A perfect example is the Valve Index controllers. It's really cool to have finger tracking, and when it's not available, I do miss it, but it rarely changes the game experience. So the PlayStation VR 2 is a non-portable VR system that will be using the performance of a PlayStation 5. It features an excellent display, eye tracking, and advanced head and trigger haptics for increased immersion. The hardware in the PlayStation 5 will be able to take full advantage of the headset's display, delivering a 4K HDR experience at 120 Hz. So clearly the PlayStation VR 2 will have superior gaming performance over the Quest Pro, but the Pro has some wildcard features. For starters, it features both eye and facial tracking, plus full color AR pass-through. It also features a new pancake lens system, so we can expect this headset to be exceptionally light and comfortable. Now, augmented reality is the major wildcard here. It might bring us new experiences that absolutely blow us away, and AR becomes the new must-have feature. Now, the internal hardware is what holds this device back though, as it's still basically a Quest 2 featuring the same XR2 chipset. Yes, with enhanced cooling and eye-tracked base foveated rendering, we can pull out some increased performance, but nothing remotely close to a PlayStation 5. So no matter how amazing the screen they put into the Quest Pro is, the hardware will never be able to take full advantage of it. The Quest 2 currently can't run games at its native 2K resolution, so don't expect some amazing game resolution boost here. Basically, the Quest Pro is a Quest 2 with extra comfort, bells and whistles. It's fully portable and will include some features that you can't get anywhere else. Now we do need to discuss platform support, which many people brush over. Sony is focused on gaming, actively encouraging VR developers to add VR modes, and they are making PlayStation VR 2 development much easier than it was on the original PlayStation VR. It's the same dev kit if you're working on flat screen or VR titles, and Sony is also making the port from PC VR to PlayStation VR much easier on developers. But when it comes to the Quest Pro, there's really no incentive for developers to work on it unless they want to make an augmented reality project, but at the same time, this will be a very niche headset, so don't expect Quest 2 games to receive many enhancements for it, and those AR games will be more like old school VR tech demos, because developers know there's not a lot of money to be made on those products. Now, when it comes to pricing, value, bang for your buck, I am going to gloss over this because no pricing is official just yet, and both systems are going to be quite expensive. A PlayStation VR bundle will be somewhere around $1,000 or more, and the Quest Pro is expected at $1,200 to $1,500. Now, at least when buying a PlayStation VR 2, you will also be getting an amazing console, but that only matters if you have an interest in flat screen gaming. So overall, the use cases are different, and we can't really evaluate these just yet. But I do want to mention some private opinions that I've received from people testing this hardware. Now, obviously, everyone in the industry is currently tight-lipped over both of these headsets, but occasionally I'll get a sentence or two out of a developer or a hardware tester, and it's been leaving me with two separate sentiments. When it comes to the PlayStation VR 2, I always get the feeling that the user thinks the hardware will impress people, like the overall gaming experience will be impressive, but they never elaborate. And when it comes to Project Cambria, it's usually, this is really cool tech that I want to tinker with. And that's about it. I usually don't get much more information out of anyone, but that is in line with what we should expect. The PlayStation VR 2 is aiming for next level gaming, and the Quest Pro is cool new tech that's heading in a different direction. Okay, I just have some final thoughts for this video. Now, obviously, I'm leaning more towards the PlayStation VR 2. I do believe it will be the better gaming experience, only because that is what it's intended to do. Now, I pick topics for my videos based on conversations I'm having with people either in the industry or just users online. And for many people, PlayStation VR 2 versus Quest Pro is just a ludicrous comparison. They're just not in the same league or have the same intended use case. But for many others, it might just be fanboyism or personal gaming preference like game quality over wireless, or quite frankly, some people are just misinformed. Now, I could understand someone preferring wireless, but I can't really understand people believing that the Quest Pro will have better games or even better performance than a PlayStation 5. They're either lying to themselves or just don't know how things work. For the average user, both Cambria and PlayStation VR probably aren't the right device for you anyway. If you own a PlayStation 5 and want to get into VR, hell yeah, go for the PlayStation VR 2. If you want to get into VR for the cheapest possible price, or you're interested in PC VR, the Quest 2 is still your best option. But if you want an upgrade, it's still better to just wait for either the Quest 3 or the Pico 4 rather than getting the Quest Pro. But if you think I'm wrong here, don't worry, we will have a lot more information in the near future, like the really near future. Wink, wink. Okay, everybody, that was today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I will see you guys on next time.